Hey, you. Welcome back to the channel. And guys, today I want to talk to you all about Electroneum and strategies for getting on exchanges. So we had been aware that the All About Tech channel was interviewing Mr. Richard Ailes, and we were getting great information from that interview. I found it very interesting today that one of the questions posed to Mr. Richard Ailes related to strategies for getting on exchanges. Of course, liquidity is important, and exchanges offer a way for Electroneum to accomplish that, especially if you're going to have big merchant services and a variety of things. Recently as well, I received a comment from a viewer. They were asking about what happened with the exchange hit BTC. So I guess that this interview and this conversation was right on time because Mr. Richard Ailes addressed hit BTC. And it was quite interesting news to find out that Electroneum has constantly been in touch with hit BTC, the approval since January. That hasn't occurred yet. And he did make a very interesting statement, and I think an important statement, and that was that they really weren't going to say much about what was going on with hit BTC until it was already listed and everybody could see it listed on exchange. As we've had so many issues and problems getting listed on exchanges, I think that would be a great strategy to wait till we're actually listed and everybody just goes, "Hey, we're listed on such and such exchange," and so we that's the answer to some of our questions. We know what's been going on with hit BTC. They've been asking for data information and trying to implement Electroneum into their system. And Mr. Richard Ailes talked a little bit about some of the technical details that were going on with that, but that they were still in touch with hit BTC, and that that as far as everything seems, they're still approved. And as soon as hit BTC can get the technical aspects of that together, Electroneum would be listed on hit BTC. Of course, the what's significant about hit BTC is it has a great deal of volume. About over I think it was like over 8 billion in volume over the last 30 days. I'll have to check it again, but a very significant amount. But as we're looking here at the exchange liquid, we can see that Electroneum is actively trading on the liquid exchange. It's done over $32,000 in the last 24 hours, and that this is a fiat pairing. And there are other exchanges that Electroneum has been approved on that has the fiat pairings, and obviously that's very important to and it's going to hopefully, ideally, create a lot of volume as people will be able to exchange their or buy Electroneum in their currency from their countries, or whether it's euros or US dollars. Also, very interesting was Mr. Richard Ailes mentioned about Binance, and I just found this just very a little, it was just concerning to hear this, because what Mr. Richard Ailes was saying about Binance was that he was saying that he still would like to be on Binance, as would I and many others. From a business standpoint, which I think would not be the worst idea. But Binance, these he mentioned about it could be upwards of like $2 million to get listed on Binance. This is exuberant fee. Something that a lot of people have found issues with in the cryptocurrency space, to charge that much to get listed. I definitely have to side with Mr. Richard Ailes on this. I would have to take a step back and consider if a $2 million investment to get listed on Binance is worth it. Now, You know, it's very hard. It's very Mr. Richard L. say he's going to wait. He's going to see. Maybe they're going to examine it a little bit further. But $2 million is a lot of money. And I honestly don't know if that would be the best way to utilize those funds. Now, I have to consider that Electroneum on Binance could create a lot of volume and a lot of value in the trading of Electroneum. That has to be considered as well. But $2 million, if $2 million, if that was going to be spent in another area, another way, other than Binance, it could probably be more well spent someplace else. It could possibly create more value someplace else. It's really hard to say, guys. I don't know. I don't like the idea that that's what it would take to get listed on Binance. Where I'm also very confused is that it would seem that a CEO like Mr. Richard Ailes, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. But would it be unusual or maybe asking too much if instead of shoving out $2 million, Mr. Richard Ailes just asked the CEO of Binance to take a sit down with him, to have a conversation with him, maybe take him out to lunch, I don't know, and see if something else, another arrangement or deal could be reached if that was the direction for. I just have a difficulty in understanding Electroneum, a very transparent at this point in time, very transparent, very compliant cryptocurrency, having to sit down with an exchange and them not considering them a valid and valuable cryptocurrency to be listed on their exchange. I just, it boggles my mind. I cannot understand that. I don't know if Mr. Richard Ailes has approached Binance that way as of yet. He did seem very much aware of the community being listed as a community token to avoid this possible large fee, whatever ways Binance goes about this. It's a large capital, large amount of money. But I don't know, guys. It just seems like that could be done better. I mean, I'm not fixated on Binance. I kind of got off the Binance train a while back when we did that, when we tried to get listed the last time. And with the currency to or the fiat to cryptocurrency pairings, if Electroneum targets marketing in a certain way with value that they have or the capital they have at this point in time from the ICO, I could see that being a better move and creating more value in Electroneum that way. But it would all depend on how they're going about this, which I don't quite know exactly how they would plan to market exactly. We have heard some various things, ideas, or rather, I believe he mentioned a store chain that might be using Electroneum in the future, and so gonna be interesting to see how Electroneum goes forward with that. There has been a slight price dip, but I'm very confident that this is just temporary and that the price will return. But I just found this interview very interesting in the things that were talked about. And I think that Electroneum is going to perform quite well before the year is over. So that's all I want to really talk about in this particular video, guys. Guys, if you like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.